Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Phil. I'm the Ordinary Watch Guy. I'm very ordinary, but the watches are always special. Today we're going to be talking about GADA watches. That's go anywhere, do anything watches, and I'm going to give you a specific recommendation on what I think is the best pound for pound GADA watch out there at the moment, and I think it's a Grand Seiko bought in the secondary market direct from Japan. Now, some time ago, I did a video about my Grand Seiko purchase, which is an SBGA 101, and you can watch that video by following the links. What I want to do today is walk through how you can get your hands on a bargain Grand Seiko GADA piece and look at what it's going to cost, everything in, and where it's available from. So let's get into it. Okay, first of all, disclaimer here. I'm going to be using Chrono24 as my browsing tool. This is not a paid product placement or anything like that. There are loads of places that you can go to buy watches direct from Japan, and indeed you can go direct to the Japanese websites and browse the offers that most of the retailers are selling directly if you want to. In fact, one of the things that I do before I buy via any platform, Chrono24 or otherwise, is go and have a look at the seller's own presence, their website. Do they have a physical bricks and mortar store? How reliable is this person that is purporting to sell this watch to me? They have to convince me that this watch is real and that I'm going to get something when I send them my money. I might even go to the extent of sending a linked message to the bricks and mortar store, to the website of the seller, just to check out if that presence on Chrono24 is actually them. A lot of the time you can triangulate by actually finding the exact watch that's on Chrono24 listed on their own website, and I find that very reassuring if it is. I know it's a bit paranoid, but at the end of the day, if you're looking at spending about £2,000 on anything and you're spending that in a foreign country, look, I'm not the sort of person who can kiss goodbye to that money. I want to reduce any risks that are on me when I'm making that purchase. This being said, I love buying watches from Japan. I've done it many times. It seems to me to be a very honourable market, and the things that I have bought have always exceeded my expectations. Their service levels are incredible. Other markets might be equally good, but I've heard negative things specifically about buying from Turkey, Russia, China, and Hong Kong. Second thing, when I'm telling you that the Grand Seiko SBGA 101 is the best pound for pound GADA, we have to operate reasonably around this. First of all, there are other Grand Seiko models that I think would be equally good, and not just spring drive models either. And of course, other brands have things to recommend too, like the Omega Aquaterra, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual, or the Explorer. The big question is, can you get them for this kind of money? It's a pound for pound test. And finally, I love Grand Seiko watches, but I hate Grand Seiko bracelets. I'm upfront about that. Amazing watches, but as amazing as their watches are, the bracelets are genuinely just as bad. And I'm not kidding. So I factor in some money to put the watch onto a nice leather strap or a sailcloth strap and clasp combo. You might like a pin buckle. I just happen to like strap and clasp. Okay, so my aim is to come in under £2,000, and that needs to include the VAT, and it needs to include the new strap too. Remember, if you're buying internationally, you do have to keep in mind that wherever you're buying from, and in my case it's the UK, in the UK I have to stick 20% on to the listed price for when it comes into the country, because that's my responsibility. You might wonder, how does that get sorted out? Well, you know, your courier sorts it out for you. Your courier will not release the watch to you until you've paid your VAT bill. Let's get on with finding that perfect watch. Hello, Bessie. There she is. Good girl. Good girl. Thank you. Right. So, before we begin, brief rundown on the watch. Why do I feel this watch makes the perfect GADA? Well, I've owned this watch for about 5 months and it's my everyday 9 times out of 10. It has that fantastic spring drive accuracy of about 1 second per day, and you're not going to beat that for this money unless you're ready to go into all-out quartz world. It also has that incredible sweep of the second hand, and it's nearly hypnotic with how smooth it is, and it's a completely understated piece, and it comes with 72 hours of power reserve. The case is exceptionally elegant with the Zaratsu polish finish, and this model has a 40mm case, which is about 13mm thick, great dimensions, not heavy, wear it with anything, wear it to anywhere, sporty and casual or dressy and more formal. Look, it's the perfect GADA. Okay, so here we are. We're on Chrono 24. For those who are completely uninitiated, Chrono 24 is an international watch selling marketplace which hosts, you know, watch sellers from all over the world and basically every brand that you can possibly imagine. What I'm going to do is initially I'm going to go up to the top of this toolbar up here, and I'm just going to put Grand Seiko in. And this is going to give me so many Grand Seikos, as you can see. And I mean, I'm sorry, but Grand Seiko secondary market is has just got some amazing things. Look at this. Look at that dial. Look at the dial. That's actually amazing. 55th anniversary Sea of Clouds full set. Now, that's buying from the United States, as you can see here. But that dial, oh my goodness me, what a piece that is. That's really nice. Anyway, that's a little bit out of the budget here. So we're going to have a little look at some of the alternatives and some of the options. I've told you that we want to come in at about £2,000. So first of all, I'm going to list low to high. Okay, now we could start here and start working our way through all of these different things. And by the way, there are some amazing little bargains to look for and to sift through at this. Okay, really nice pieces. I've always fancied one of these kind of cushion style cases. High beat, £593 for a Grand Seiko, 1970 vintage. I've always been tempted. I'm gonna make life a little bit quicker and a little bit easier because I'm just gonna hit up the filters. Okay, now let's have a look at the price. Okay, so price, you got to make sure that you factor in for that VAT. That's something that I've already said. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, let me know what there is in that bracket. £1,200 to £1,500. Now, there's going to be a lot of the quartz models mixed in here at this level. Trust me, I am not averse to a Grand Seiko quartz. They are ridiculously, ridiculously accurate. But let's have a little look through. Okay, so for example, here we are. We're going to have a little look at, this is a 2022 Box and Papers SBGX 261. Now, this is one of the quartz options that have been offered on here. As you can see, completely black dial, silver, and I would be looking at taking that off that bracelet straight away, and I just don't like those bracelets. This is what I'm talking about in terms of the Japanese market being very, very honourable. You can see there's a little ding there in the case edge. You have to decide for yourself whether what dings matter to you, or whether that's a deal breaker straight away. So we're talking about another 240, something like that, 250. That's going to take us up around sort of, £1,800 for that particular watch. And then that's going to give me, it's got the £81 on top of that, and then that'll leave me with a reasonable amount of money, £120, something like that, for a nice strap. Okay, with a little bit of playing on the search terms, here I am just looking at Grand Seiko spring drive models. Now this one here, that's an interesting piece. It's not got its original box and papers, but it's already on a nice leather strap, which is definitely something that I'm happy about. The thing that you got to know about buying in Japan is that there isn't a haggle culture in Japan. That you're not going to get into getting 10% off or anything like that. This one's being offered by Closer, and I've bought from them before. I had really great experiences with them. Totally recommend. I also like, this is a titanium model, which is going to make it extra tough and also super light. I've really fancied a Grand Seiko titanium, actually, I'm not going to lie. So that's attractive, but for those of you who are thinking about your watches in terms of resale, those box and papers make a big difference to you. Where do I stand on box and papers? I bought from these guys before. I know that they look closely at the watches, that they're reliable people, they know what they're doing, very honourable transactions. I'm not worried about this watch being from a nefarious background or it being a fake. Okay, I'm not. Having the box and papers is about obviously having as much of a complete set as possible. So if at another time I want to cash it in and I want to put it towards another watch, then obviously that's going to stand me in better stead. Here's another option, an SBGA 099. This one's a steel model. It looks a little bit more kind of dinged up, a little bit more scratched and that kind of thing. You've got to ask yourself if you're GADAing, what that's worth to you, and also if it's going to be a beta. I mean, for a beta watch, I'm not too bothered about scratches and dings, to be honest. But for a GADA, I'm maybe looking for something that's a little bit more presentable, in all honesty. And this one's looking like it's had a bit of a... This guy, whoever's owned this watch, has worn this watch, right? This watch has been used. But, it's a sub £1,500 Grand Seiko spring drive. No box and papers again. But you know what? This is going to be... For somebody, that'll be exactly what they're looking for. It's not what I'm looking for. And it does look like the value and the price of these Grand Seikos has drifted up a little bit. I was in the market 5 months ago, and certainly I was finding prices beneath this. I think I paid 12 something, maybe 1,300 before VAT. So these things have gone up a little bit. They've gone up a little bit. Here we are, SBGA 041, okay. Black dial, big fan of the black dial, titanium. Loving that. This is looking pretty clean. Again, no original box, no paperwork. One of the things that this says is used fair. I want to really look at this because in this market, in the Japanese market, they are so stringent about condition, and they are super, super honest. I have had watches that have been described as fair or good, and they've got to me and I've looked at them and honestly not understood why they're not regarded to be immaculate. I can see on this that is going to be prohibitive around the crown. You've got a little bit of It's what we'd call in guitars buckle rash. Okay, I just want to interrupt this video at the moment just for 1 second. Hello Bessie, what have you got there? Bessie and I would just really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to the channel. Give the video a like, click subscribe. The vast majority of people watching my videos are not subscribed, and I really want to get you on board. It'll help me so much to grow the channel. It'll help me to do new and interesting things. So hit that subscribe button. I'll be so grateful to you. And back to the video. Thanks, guys. Oh, it's got that nice case back though. Look at that. That's nice. Let's have a look at this one. This is an SBGA 285. Again, no box, no papers. No surprise. I haven't actually set my search criteria to just Japanese, but you can see that the natural price advantages in Japan are just pushing Japanese sellers to the top of this list. You can see that nice Shiratsu polishing there. That's nice. That's a nice looking watch. It actually looks like titanium to me in those photographs. 37mm would suit a slightly smaller wrist. Does not actually say whether that is a titanium, but I'm just getting titanium vibes off the colour of the metal. It's not impossible that that is also a titanium model. I don't know. I'd have to check it out. There's two particular types of these Grand Seiko cases. You've got these ones with the crown guards and the ones without the crown guards. Now, to me, I kind of prefer the ones without the crown guards, but it's not a deal breaker. I could go either way with that. This one has got a nice textured white dial. It's got original box and papers. It is described as fair condition. Let's have a look. Okay, nice box and papers there. That's looking pretty good. That is looking pretty good as an option there. I could definitely live with that. That's a steel watch. It is a 39mm case. Nice size. Needs taking off the bracelet. Okay, it needs taking off the bracelet. Okay, 2,146. And I'm thinking you need about 2,146. I think you're going to come in at about 2,300 for that watch with a nice new strap on it. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. So that is 2,300 coming in around there. 2,300, and there's a black dial variant here. Let's have a look at the size of that one. Yeah, same. I think that's the same watch, but with the black dial. And again, but that's not got the box and papers, you know. And if I really am asked about that, I am thinking it's 30 quid for box and papers, basically, and the different colour dial. So we might have to moderate our targets here a little bit because of the fact that it seems that the Grand Seiko spring drive models on the secondary market have just crept up a little bit. They've just crept up a little bit. And it might be a little bit more realistic for us to just say 2.5 rather than 2. Certainly, I mean, I came in, when I bought mine 5 months ago, I came in way under £2,000. Way under. This is really interesting. Now, bearing in mind, if we have a £2,000 watch, that is obviously £400 that you've got to put on VAT, right? Okay, £2,000 is £400. And if you're going to put it on a leather strap and you want it to be a decent strap, you are going to want that 100 quid. Okay, £2,000. There we have SBGA 003. What size is that now? That's a 2016 model. It's a 40mm case. Okay, liking that. Okay, graded as very good. And this is being sold by a Japanese dealer. And you know what? That looks lovely. Oh wow, that's nice. That's really nice. I mean, you're gonna have to take this bracelet away, but that's a lovely watch, and it's got that exhibition case back. I would quite happily snap that one up. Let's have a look. These are all getting a bit too pricey for what. Realistically, we've already pushed the budget. That you got to have some measure of modicum of self-control. But what we're starting to see is watches creep in from other places. So this one is out in Australia. It looks beautiful. I think this is going to be a private seller. I do. Yes, it is. It's a private seller. Lovely box and papers. That's nice. That's very, very nice. They're offering a negotiable. So you might even, if you don't mind buying there, if you can reassure yourself about this private seller. I don't know how you triangulate around that. But, they do have good buyer protections on Chrono 24, which is why I tend to also go with Chrono 24. But if you're comfortable with that, maybe a cheeky offer gets that down to 1800, 1750, something like that. Box and papers. That might be the one. So what I'm doing at this stage is I'm starting to shortlist the options that we've got here. But this is a nice watch, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting a watch from Australia to pop into the options. Okay, there's one here. Boom. It's in Switzerland. Wow, Switzerland. Okay, Switzerland. I've never heard any particular issues with people buying from Switzerland. But again, no original box, no original papers. Says it's a private seller. Add all these different things up. Is that negotiable? Would they accept 1750? You might swoop in there and get a little bit of a bargain. And the other thing that you got to remember is that if you do get, say that we go back into the watch from Australia, if you get that watch and it's $2,000, but you get them to take it down to 1750, you also save on the VAT. With the VAT at $298, you go up at £419 in VAT on that. So that's 2.5. However, 1750, that's 2,100 instead, and plus your shipping. But 2,100, that's a lot of difference. You're saving yourself a lot of money there by getting them to take that 250 off. You're saving on your VAT. You're saving on the watch. Okay, so some real bargains there, I think. Okay, so we're here on North Star straps. I am not being paid to promote North Star straps by any means, but what I would say is that I've got a previous video where I've done a straight up shootout between North Star and Artem, and this watch here that I'm wearing on my wrist is on an Artem strap. It's what I used to compare to the North Star that I bought and put on my Omega Seamaster. Now, I could not tell the difference. There's a huge difference in price, and that for me is why I go to North Star, because their quality is absolutely every bit as good as Artem, but Artem have been absolutely pushing up their prices, pushing them up to where I do not believe that they can justify themselves anymore. It's just filling their pockets with cash. Okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. The product quality is outstanding. Don't get me wrong. The product quality is outstanding. Price is objectionable. There we go. So let's have a look at North Star and what would I do? What would I do with one of those? Okay, you can see the prices here. I would probably put the watch on a deploy with a deployant clasp, but you could quite happily go with a pin buckle here. You know, that's 48 quid. Quite happy with that. I think that I would go all black. I wouldn't go contrast stitching. That's just me. Black, boom, £65. The one thing that you're going to have to watch for is this. It's the sizing. The thing about a Grand Seiko is there are models there that they love a 19, and I don't know why. And I don't know why any watch manufacturer loves a 19. It just immediately denies their customer the opportunity to get something. So you've got to make sure, obviously, and have a look and see that the watch that you're getting has got 20mm strap size, because once you get into that 19mm, it's just a headache, right? So be looking right from the off. That could be a deal breaker. Because I don't want to pay a fortune to get a 19mm strap, okay? If you can get yourself a model that's got a nice 20mm size, £65, quick release spring bars, deployant clasp is another 40 quid. I've said this before in a previous video, don't cheap out on the clasp. These guys do great clasps. Get their clasp. It's made to fit it. It does look good. It's honestly worth it. 105 quid. That's what you're looking at. That's the extra cost. You put that together. Now you've got one of the best. Whether you get the quartz version of the watch, or whether you go down that spring drive model, you know, looking at the fact that the spring drive model has got that little bit more expensive. Either way, you've got one of the best watches in the world. The quality is second to none. It's on a great strap. You've got a fantastic clasp on it, and you're walking away at around that £2,000 mark. As we said, it's probably going to be a little bit more if you're going spring drive. It's going to be a little bit less if you go with the quartz option, and you are walking away in that range of between, let's say, £1,750 to £2,200, £2,300 with a watch that, but pound for pound, in terms of your GADA options, in terms of the watch that you're going to daily, in terms of the watch that you can wear anywhere for any purpose, I think 99 times out of 100, you have got the best watch in the room. Any room you walk into. I mean, unless you're going to Watches and Wonders or something ridiculous like that. But that is going to be an absolutely fantastic watch. Okay, so what do you think? We've had a good look round. We've had a bit of a shopping experience. It's a bit of a new type of video for me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love these things. It's a great bit of fun. Let me know in the comments whether or not you think this could be the best at that price point, the best GADA watch. And if not, if you get that budget and you're looking at that window between £1,750 and let's say £2,300, tell me in the comments below what you think is the best GADA watch that you can go out and grab. And trust me, if you come up with a good shout on that, I will get my hands on one and I will review that watch. And if you're right, I will tell you. I will absolutely put my hands up and say it. So come at me with some options and some interesting ideas, guys. I'll be back next week with some more fantastic content. However, in the meantime, why not check out one of my previous videos, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit subscribe, give me a like, help me to grow the channel. I'm so appreciative of everybody that follows the channel, and I'll be back next week with some more content. Thank you very much, and bye for now.